Hey guys, welcome to True Story Sunday. This is another story from my time in Nicaragua when I was there with Mitch and Tango 2, who you were introduced to, I think last week. I don't know, I can't keep track. Don't ask me to try to keep track of stuff. I was the electrician there, and Mitch was the surveyor. That was his job in the military. And so once the base was built, we didn't really have anything to do. We were just kind of like sitting around. Okay, we were helping, you know, we were doing other stuff, but they finally decided to put us to work in the supply yard. And I learned something interesting about people who work in the supply yard. They're I hate them. I hate them all. So they put us to work out there with this guy. He's completely unorganized. Everything is screwed up. And Mitch and I go to work trying to fix this supply yard. We're organizing things. And he is basically sitting in his air-conditioned little office, watching movies on his laptop. That's what he was doing. Every time we'd go in there to ask him a question, the lights would be out and he'd be watching movies with his buddies, while Mitch and I were sweating our guts out in the Nicaraguan heat. So I hated the guy. And but I was trying to do a good job and stay busy, whatever. That would change later during my career because of the example that everyone else set, I suppose. But I told the story just a few minutes ago and then found out that the audio was completely screwed up, so now I'm doing it again and I'm getting mixed up. Supply yard. He was the supply guy and I hated him because he wouldn't give stuff away. So one day Mitch and I were organizing these trailers and putting stuff into other areas to make room for more stuff getting shipped in. And we find this trailer, this Connex, filled with air conditioners. And we're like, hey man, why don't you give these away? Like, why don't you, there's all these guys sweating their guts out at night. Why don't you put some air conditioners in their tents? You know, I'm the electrician, I can wire them up, no problem. He goes, oh, well, those are only for certain people, who deserve them. And I'm like, what? All the officers have tents. All their offices have tents, and all their personal tents have air conditioners. So what's the point? Who are you keeping these from? It was only us. It was only the enlisted guys, of which he is one. He was a sergeant. He was an enlisted guy. So help a brother out, you know. Mitch and I, we had an air conditioner in our tent. Let's see what's down here. We had an air conditioner in our tent. It was an awesome one. But we were frustrated because there was all these other guys who didn't have them. And it was like, why don't you give these out? And basically what he does as a supply guy is he has this little bit of power because he has stuff that other people need. So they come to him and they're like, here's a bottle of rum, amigo. Why don't you hook me up with an air conditioner? That's what he was waiting for. So Mitch and I took a crowbar. I put this crowbar under the seat of our truck because sometimes we would take supplies out to the different job sites. And that was like the only protection that we had. Like a Gordon Freeman looking crowbar. So we took this crowbar and we went back into the supply yard and we broke open the lock on this Connex, and we grabbed a bunch of air conditioners and we went and wired them up. Oh boy. We went and wired them up the next day. And I don't think anybody ever knew because he didn't even know how many he had in there. So the point, that's kind of the point of the story, is that supply guys are jerks. You know, they use what little power they have and they hold it over people. Oh jeez, shit. They hold it over people until they come and scratch their back, do them a favor, and then they do the job that the Army is paying them and has trained them to do. But only then. So one day Mitch and I are driving around the base and we notice that in front of the supply guy, Sergeant Supply's office, is a big pile of refrigerators. Well, not big, there was 3 or 4 refrigerators there. and we didn't even bother to ask if we could have them. We just waited until the night, waited till it was dark, 7 o'clock probably, and we jumped in our diesel pickup truck, very noisy Army pickup truck. We drove over there, and I mean, they were right in front of his office because he knew that people were going to try and steal them. So we both jumped out of the truck and we threw 2 refrigerators in the back. We didn't want just one, we wanted 2. We threw 2 refrigerators in the back and we burned out of there as fast as we could. And he, of course, heard us and came after us in his truck. He jumped in his truck and came after us. And when I saw him jump in his truck, I took a hard right. It was pitch black, you know, it was dark. Took a hard right and hit this ditch. I didn't have any idea it was there. Hit this ditch and we almost lost both refrigerators out of the back of the truck because we hit it so hard and it was like bouncing. Everything was bouncing around. And we took the long way, all the way around camp to our tent, and we were unloading the. Hello? I'm getting a weird feedback here. We were unloading I had a refrigerator. It was just the small ones, you know. I have it in my arms, and this guy is just as this guy pulls up, and he's like, "Hey, you know," he starts to lecture us, and he starts lecturing us about, "You guys shouldn't have done that," and I literally was shuffling my feet in the dirt and saying, "Oh golly, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize. I just thought they were out there for anyone, and we were thirsty and it's hot, so I grabbed a couple." And I was acting extremely guilty, just groveling to this guy. So we put the refrigerators in his truck and he drove away, and he was like, he felt like he was a real big shot, being able to catch me like that. You know, we gave him what he wanted. And then as he pulled away, the guys who live in the tent right next to us pulled up with their truck with the other 2 refrigerators in it. After he had chased us, they had stopped and put 2 refrigerators in his truck. So it was one of those moments where everything went right. You know, we had this plan. We're like, can this work? Can we somehow make this pull this off and really trick him like this? And it worked, and we were all so happy. And we got some plywood and some hinges and stuff, and we built a box. You know, put the hinges on the inside of the box and screwed them in so it would protect our refrigerator while we were gone, like out of the job sites and stuff, just in case that supply guy came into our tents while we were gone trying to find it. We put a door on it and a lock and everything, and then put a bunch of other, like, just trash looking stuff over it so no one would know, no one would suspect that there was a refrigerator under there. And we kept that refrigerator for the next 4 months. We never knew. We stole 2 refrigerators from the guy, and worked out pretty awesome. But we didn't call it stealing because they were ours. We feel like they were ours to begin with. We were in the Army, and they were Army refrigerators, so they belonged to us. He, however, was holding them hostage. So we always called it liberating. We liberated the refrigerators from Sergeant Supply. And we weren't selfish with it. Anything we had or anything we could get access to, we gave away. And that's just how we did it. So sometimes you gotta lay some freedom on people. Isn't that the American way, you know? You'll be free whether you like it or not. Whoa. This is where I wanted to go. Anyways, that's a True Story Sunday. Ride safe, travel far, do it soon.